Hi guys, how are you doing? I just want to get right into. Let me know if you can hear me, by the way, and welcome everybody. I will say hi to all you guys in just a little bit. I want to get right into looking at just a couple minutes of some of the body cam footage. So, what I've been working on for content for I think a few live streams. It'll definitely be tonight's, and even more so tomorrow's, and probably the one after that is the evidence, which is a really broad topic, right? But the evidence in this case is unlike evidence in any other criminal case that I know of. And I think from my discussions and chats with you guys, many of you agree with me. And the reason the evidence is unlike evidence in any other case, for those of you who might be new to the case, and if you are, welcome. I have lots of material on this channel and other channels for you to catch up on, and you're welcome in chat. Come on and join. Don't be shy. Eventually, no, we won't. I was going to say we'll explain everything to you, but we won't explain everything to you because nobody understands everything. That's why we're all here. So the evidence in the Watts case is either not fully analyzed and evaluated, like the evidence is there, but it hasn't been cashed in. It hasn't been sent to the labs. It hasn't had the proper analysis. It hasn't had the proper person look at it. It hasn't found the proper expert to understand what that said piece of evidence is, right? And then a type of evidence that we've discussed on this channel, I've discussed this with some of you in small groups or individually, and I've heard others talk about it a little bit as well, is the evidence that is not in front of us, with the evidence that makes us wonder if it exists, why it didn't happen, why it didn't ask, why it's not there, why they didn't go further. There's curious and questionable and disturbing evidence in this case that's in kind of a class of its own. And it's like the evidence that only exists theoretically, but we kind of do know it's there because it's hinted at. Now, if that seems like a pretty nebulous description of what I'm trying to get at, just hold on because I have some more concrete examples in a little bit. Right now, I want you to watch this body cam footage excerpt from Officer Dahl on the morning of Monday 13th, 2018. This is after Chris Watts has returned home from being out at the work site at Survey 319, where investigators later recovered the body of his pregnant wife, Shanann, and his two children, Bella and Celeste, who are ages 4 and 3. And in this body cam footage, you're going to see the camera, or the body cam rather, panning towards the truck a couple times. One of the focuses of our examination of WTF happened with the evidence in this case, the all kinds of evidence that I kind of just was referring to. Something we're going to take a pretty close look at is the work truck, because I swear to you, every time I look back at the work truck and the discovery and the evidence around it and the lack of evidence around it, and listen to what other people say too, a lot of times I'm, inspired to go down a path of research because of a question, somebody will just put on a video or something. Anyhow, the work truck is ever problematic. So as you watch this body cam excerpt, really take a look at, well, first of all, Chris Watts' demeanor. Try to, he says some things that I didn't pick up at first. Try to hear what he's saying and just see what you notice on, in, around about his work truck. Hi guys, how are you? I have a question. Did you guys hear me talking at all? Let's see. Trying to see here. Oh, thank you with the wishes about the new job. You did hear me. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Okay, thank you, Utter Nutter. Okay, here we go. Nope. What's up with this? Come on. Oh, I think it's the body cam footage at first. Actually, let's see. Oh, what's going on? What the heck? There is no audio on the body cam footage right now, so if you don't hear it, that's why.
Back here?
There it is.
There's a driveway from town on the back of our fence.
Now, would you think that's a female friend or a male friend?
Honestly, I'm not going to put anything by it right now.
All right. Well, we appreciate you letting us go through your house.
No problem. I'm
definitely not in there.
No.
Oops.
Hey, hold on one second. Call you back. Bye-bye.
Was it in the car? So she came out the door then?
What's your name again?
I'm Sergeant Bakes.
Sergeant Bakes.
Good to meet you.
So she doesn't have any family or anyone around here?
Neither of us do. They're all back in North Carolina. We moved here back in 2012. Came out here to visit some friends during Thanksgiving. Fell in love with the place. Moved out here a few months later.
She have any friends around here?
Just for friends?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got friends in Frederick, Erie, Aurora, that part of Erie, Broomfield, Parker.
Have you tried to contact any of them?
Oh yeah, we've exhausted every option. The last thing I'm going to do is hospitals. Hotels. There's so many, but.
And no one's heard from her today? Have you checked your bank accounts?
That's another thing I was going to do because I don't have access through here.
Let's go check those and see if she pulled any cash out or if there's any strange charges or anything.
Okay.
Can you log?
I can't log in because she does all the finances.
Okay.
So I know her password. I just don't have her used already. I'm not sure what she would have used that way. Sorry, my phone's just going on.
No, you're fine. Who do you guys bank through?
USAA and Chase.
Can you call them and see if
Yep.
there's been any activity?
Any withdrawals or anything?
And then the suitcases that she came home this morning with, which ones were those? Were they
The black one that's sitting right there.
not the one in the bedroom?
Mm-mm. That was from the last trip, or when we just got back a few days ago from North Carolina. She went to Arizona like 2 days later. That was when we just got put back down in the basement.
You guys don't have any stockpiles of cash or anything in the house that she would have had. If she needed cash, she needed to go to the bank to get it.
If there is, I would not know about it. If there was, I didn't know.
You know how much cash she usually carries with her?
It's usually not, maybe like 100.
Your turn signal's on.
It's been on. I may have to turn in a hurry.
You always ready?
Yeah. Can I go in there and get the card?
Yeah,
you
go ahead.
can go in the house. Yeah. Okay. I was gonna get the card.
Okay, just 1 minute. I'm on a different screen here. Whoops. Okay, let me come back to you guys. Okay, so so there is the work truck. I know I know as time has gone on with this case, different issues surrounding the work truck have come up, including what about the hoses that were seen in his work truck at some point, but then weren't seen in his work truck at other points. That's an example of a matter having to do with his work truck that I personally have researched. Probably not as hard as some other people did, because I know some other people were really interested in that point when it was noticed at first, thinking, like, I think Tia Marie, you just commented to John, oh, like something new to ponder, when John said, mentioned the Lexus being close to the garage, which is a really good point. And that is that's what I would think too if I hadn't read your comment first, Tia Marie, but I guess what I'm saying here is that doesn't it become increasingly difficult to have a sense of whether something new that we observe, or that you on your own observe, or that you hear, on some channel has been observed? Isn't it becoming more and more difficult to have what do you think of it? Is it becoming easier or more difficult to understand if that, new way of looking at things, or maybe even new piece of evidence, is actually something to get excited about, in terms of thinking, oh, well, this might be one of the missing puzzle pieces. It's going to lead us towards that path of complete justice that, I know, speaking for myself, I really want for the victims, and I know many of you do too. Or do we just know at this point, or should we assume at this point, like, wah, 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 okay, every researchable or discoverable path has been walked down, has been run down, has been, fully navigated and scavenged. We need to stop looking for new things or new angles. Do you guys have any thoughts on that? I'm very curious as to what you might think about that. Ara says, the longer I think about this case, the more confused I become. And I definitely think that can happen. Yeah, for sure. Oh, and by the way, thank you, Sherry. Let me just say hi to everybody. Thank you, Sherry, for asking how I'm feeling. I guess I'm feeling a little bit better than yesterday. It's just been a really tough week. I started a new job, which I was really excited about. I'm working with, it's like a 45-minute commute from where I live, which is really annoying. I like to not have to drive anywhere. I really hate driving to and from work. I don't know if everyone feels that way, but the place where I'm working, it's a residential program, and the students at the program they're older, like it's kind of weird because there's an age of, like, I don't want to say the exact age. I don't want to give anybody enough detail to like look it up, but they're like teenagers to young adults, and we're talking in the same class, in the same dorms, like living together, teenagers that are above and below, and young adults well into their 20s, above and below the age of consent, which adds a really weird dynamic to it. I don't know why that's what I'm talking about, but most of the students are from the inner city, or countries that have been politically war torn recently, like Uganda. Excuse me. And it's a really unique program because it's intended to give the students everything that they need to, just like learn skills you need in life. And also to change their frame of mind, and oftentimes heal from the backgrounds, due to the backgrounds from which they come, which are usually laden with experiences of trauma. But I already feel really connected to my students. They're awesome. I love this kind of work, and it's great. But it's also allergy season, Sherry, and I've been sleeping very little, and I'm like rushing around because there's so much to do. So yeah, I think that's why the allergies went to a full bloody nose. If any of you saw why I canceled yesterday's live stream. So but thank you for asking. So let's see. Oh, well, thank you very much, Ara. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Yeah, I really get to use my education and, special education, and also as an applied behavioral analyst in this. And also just like these kids are freaking awesome. They're great. I love them to death already. It's very fulfilling work. Okay. So let me get back on track here. Oh, and hi, Molson Man and Meg McSee. And I'm not going to say hi to everybody tonight because my computer's acting a little funny still. So thank you all for being here. It's absolutely awesome. And I'm really happy that everyone's here. Now, what order are we going to do this in? Let's continue with the work truck. Let's continue with the work truck. Let's take a look at another couple of videos having to do with Chris Watts' work truck. Just give me a moment here. Woo! All right. Right. Okay, what's next? As far as the work truck, what makes sense? Yuck. Sorry. Where's my video? La di da di da 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 da. There it is. Okay. Is that the one that I want? I don't know. I don't know if it's the one I want. So I'm going to stop talking to myself. I'm going to share it and we're going to find out. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so this video is going to show the interior of Chris Watts' work truck. So let's think about the stories that Watts told throughout his different confessions, and think about if the stories he told about what he did with his wife and his two beautiful daughters, let's just look at the interior of the work truck. Keep that in mind. I'm particularly slow. I'm so glad it's a long weekend. Tomorrow night's live stream, I have everything all ready for it. It was more involved than I was ready to do this evening because I'm just feeling like I wanted to be excited for it. I wanted you guys to be excited for it. So that's going to be awesome. Let's see. All right, here we go. So this is Chris Watts' actual work truck. Okay, so you know, there are times when you look at certain when you look at the interior photos of that work truck, it's hard for me, and I'm interested in knowing what you guys think. It's hard for me to you know what, actually I'm going to play that without volume in the background. Just one second. Bring that back up, pull that back, talk to myself. Oops, that's not it.
Analysis.
No, that's
this is
another channel. Can't do that. Oh, shit, I lost it. Okay, well, anyway, so let's go to we'll run the footage of him loading the truck, because what I was going to say.
Some viewers may find the
it was really
following
loud in
video.
my ear. Okay, I'm sorry. Then I scream in your ears. Okay, so some people find that when you look at the back of the truck visually through pictures or through videos, and then when you look into the dimensions of the back of the truck and the model that they had with the size cab that he had on his work truck that was part of a fleet from his employer in Andarko, you know, when you start to think about it, when you start to think about what the movement of the truck might be, if he were to put in the truck, you know, the weight of Shanann, and, you know, what it would be like to try to fit her in that small space. You know, and then we see here, I'm about to play part of at least the security camera footage from neighbor Nate's house when he, when that mysterious figure, no, let's start sooner than that, when something very mysterious that we really don't know for certain anything about triggers neighbor Nate's security camera, because we know that his security camera is motion triggered. It's a motion sensor camera. We know it turns on because there's motion. So something starts the camera, and then yet another mysterious event occurs. A mysterious figure walks out of the garage that many people, including myself, at this point very firmly believe is not Chris Watts. I have my suspicions on who it is. If you think it's not Chris Watts, perhaps you do as well. And then we see somebody that we presume to be Chris Watts, then backing his truck in a very bizarre way, according to the account of everyone who knows him or is in the neighborhood. And then we see the person that we presume to be Chris Watts walking back and forth several times from the garage, presumably inside the house, back to the truck, back to the cab of the truck. We see the dome lights turn on and off. We see the automatic headlights turn on and off. A number of things happen that give us some indicators of what is going on that we can't see because of that damn bush. But could Shanann have fit in the floorboard in the back of the truck and on the floorboard in the manner he claims?
Disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Such a terrible thought, but whether or not he could fit her there with only the amount of movement that we see without being detected, that will give us an answer to a lot of things in this case that prevent us from knowing which direction should we go. So I'm sorry, I want to go back to the very beginning again because I just do. There, or just that person walking out. Okay. All right, sorry. I actually, for tomorrow night, have this video footage. I've tried to rework it a number of times, and never do I claim. that what I'm able to do is better than what anyone else has been able to do, but I think I got some pretty good, I think I have some pretty good screen grabs as far as saturation of color and shadows that for me, and maybe it's because I was playing around with it so long, I wanted to be like, okay, Kelly, good job, you did it, good job, now stop, go do something else. But for me, I feel like helped to clarify the figure a bit. And also to make more clear for me what's going on in the work truck, for example, at that point when the lights just turned on, when you obviously can't see clearly what's happening because of that damn tree. Kevin asks, do y'all think NK backed up the truck? I don't. And the reason is I believe that the first figure, and I think it just happened, that exits the driver's side cab of the truck and walks back towards the house. To me, that looks to be, I believe that's Ceee Watts. Karen G makes like the most excellent counterpoint, I think. You know, it's kind of simple as far as, you know, commonsensical, but the biggest obstacle in my mind, well, no, it's not the biggest necessarily, because this whole thing is so messed up. There's some big ones. Let me just read her comment. Let me know what you think. He would really grab out a dead body into the driveway. He'd like really pull that out, you know. But the truck isn't all the way into the garage because there's not enough room. So I think what she's asking, because I just kind of read that very choppy, is would he really do that with the risk of being seen? Is that what you're asking, Karen? Because I mean, that is a really big consideration. Very big consideration. Okay, Molson Man. Someone's always correcting me on this channel, man. It's a tree. It's a bush. Wait, which one is it? I don't even know. It's a tree, not a bush. Well, you know what, Molson Man? Just for you and all of the other people like you, I made sure I said both tree and bush when describing that thing. Okay? You happy now? You happy? Are you happy now? Just kidding. Oh, it is spooky music. All right, since you guys I see in chat are talking about the possibility of going out the back, I'm going to show you a couple of things I wasn't planning on showing, but let's see. Yes. So Karina CC, welcome, by the way. I'm so happy you're here. I'm not sure if I've seen you before in chat, and I'm really happy you're here. I love your comment. I feel the exact same way. I'm going that way actually in this very live stream right now. It's going to be just trying to set it up so people hopefully can clearly see how accurate your point is. She says, the issue is once a confession is made, authorities don't focus thoroughly on forensic evidence and details as they have the confession. Unfortunately, so much more is needed. So much more forensic testing is needed. Yes. And some of you know exactly where I'm going with this because you know it's a really big sticking point for me. The biggest shame to me is that law enforcement had much of the critical evidence they needed that would have cracked the case wide open in their hot little, hopefully properly gloved hands. But they didn't analyze and evaluate that evidence that they had in their hot little trembling hands. It's so unbelievable to me. It makes me feel ill to think about it. The music is distracting. Do you want me to mute it? Well, I guess, you know, I'll give you that choice, so you can always mute it and yourself. You know what I mean? So, hey, Truth Seeker, last name, how are you? And I didn't say hi to everyone. I feel really bad about that now, but hi, everyone. Happy all of you are here. I'm trying to conserve my energy a little bit this week with getting used to my new schedule and my new day job. I always have a few side gigs. No, they didn't process much. Okay, give me a moment. I'll be pulling up some more stuff here. Sharpen video footage, okay? So I like the sharpened version. I think with the sharpened images, you can see better detail. You certainly can see highlights and shadows better. Yeah, good point, Deb. Oh, thank you, Karen G. I forgot what I was about to look for. I really have been brain scrambled this week. Your comment reminded me. Thank you. You gotta be kidding me. I can't open that. Oh my gosh, seriously, this is crazy. Okay, well, for some reason, this computer, I keep saying I need to get a new computer. I really actually do that. I just have to find the time. For some reason, it's not allowing me through to Reddit. So I'm just going to show you this picture the best I can. So there is a photo of, because I don't have it saved on my, I did at one point, I removed a bunch of Watts pictures from my hard drive because I needed some space and functionality. Let's see. Do this perhaps. Give me just 1 second here. Maybe I can make it a little bigger. Come on. Oh. Yeah, okay. weird. Stop, Google, and stop it. Look at that. So if you're in chat, I know that, I feel like there are people that believe it was possible that Shanann went out through the backyard. And then I think there's people that just sort of discount that possibility. I don't know why I have a hard time with it, but I'm going to show you the one thing that wait, hold it. So if you think that Shanann did go out through the back, or even if you think that she may have gone out through the back, just put a 1 in chat. I just want to see, just type a 1 in chat, 1 and then send or whatever. I just want to see how many people right now at this time, or, around this time in the, 3.5 years after, with X amount of, evidence being actually looked at and analyzed and all of the factors that go into this, who thinks she may have gone out to the back? If you do, please put a 1 in chat. If you think that she did, or even if you think she may have. Let's see. So Sherry says possibly. Wens McKean says, she puts a 1. Not many. Okay. And then, so I don't know if people didn't hear, should have given an alternative choice, because then, if people are just questioning, they're responding, or if they're just not putting a 1 because they just don't think it happened that way. So something wicked, one time. Hi and welcome, by the way. I wasn't sure how I should read that 1X at the end. Welcome. Nice to see you here. It says, Chris carried her out, deceased, into the truck in the front. Yeah. So, oh, so, now they're looking at, okay. Yeah, I mean, because that definitely was a gas can he carried out. Hi, Curious Rose. How are you, sweetheart? Welcome. Okay, so now I'm going to share something else I would like your opinion on. Don't want to use Google Lens anymore. Google, please stop doing this. Hold it. Back. Okay, so, oops. All right, so again, for some reason, I can't go onto Reddit. I mean, that's just insane. I really need a new computer. She keeps saying. All right, let me make this as big as I can, then share the screen so you can see the picture anyway. It's just like really crappy though. Oh, well, whatever. That's the best I can do right now. Oh, hold it. I think I got it a different way. Never mind. Let's try this. Save picture as. Let's put that in there. All right, let's check that out. Okay. All right, so I'm going to share a different screen here. Stop that share. Bring in this share. Share this, share that. Don't share that. Hi, Bumblebee. Hi, Kevin. Hi, Meg McSee. Hi, Molson Man, Karen G, and John McSmith. Curious Rose. Hi, people. And Bumblebee. Did I say hi, Bumblebee? People on my screen. I have said hi to most of you already, but glad you guys are here. So tomorrow there's going to be a part 2 of this Watts evidence. Where's the Watts evidence? And, you know, I made a very distinct little piece about each of the most disturbing pieces of evidence or mishandlings of evidence in this case, I guess you could say. We're going to touch on a couple. We're touching on a couple of them right now, but we're going to go more in depth tomorrow evening at probably 9. Okay, let's see if we can do this. Okay, so come on. Come on, StreamYard. You can do it. I know you can do it, StreamYard. Let's do it. You can do it, StreamYard. Oh my God. There we go. Oh, it's so tiny. Look at that tiny, cute little picture. Let me make it bigger. So this is a photo of, I had a much bigger one, but I deleted a bunch of files. I should have just put on a freaking flash drive. I don't know why I didn't do that. All right. So in this picture, there is a photo that exists that has better resolution. I'll find it for us for tomorrow. Okay. But this was taken by someone in law enforcement. I do not recall who. If anybody does know who, please fill in that information in chat. That would be great. I didn't think about even showing this picture until the live stream started, so I didn't do, you know, my background facts. So this does show tracks, tire tracks. They're definitely tire tracks of a vehicle that literally go right up to the, you know, that's the Watts fence there that you see those tracks going to. If you can even make it out, because it's a small picture and not so great resolution. So again, tomorrow evening, I'll have a better picture that's larger and with better resolution for you. Have you guys seen this picture before? And what do you think about it? When I first saw this picture, I believed that Shanann went out the front through the garage. You know, she's getting placed into the truck at some point. You know, when we see Chris, you know, walking back and forth, doing whatever he's doing, all of that footage that we just all watched, it took me a lot. And I'm not one to say, oh yeah, she went out the back. She went out the Mickey Mouse door, you know, the window, you know, there are facts that do exist. Like the window was not locked. That window in the basement that was a garden basement where you could walk right out into the side lawn or the back lawn, that was definitely be possible without the risk of getting injured or anything weird like that, or, you know, unpleasant like that. I don't think that I don't say, oh yeah, she definitely went out the back. That's what's up. That's my theory. I do believe it's possible. The other reasons I personally believe that is possible is due to the interest that one of the search dogs showed in the basement of the Watts residence, combined with the Chris's iPhone activity trackers at around 4 a.m. combined with the Vivint alerts that were activated just naturally by movement within the house around that same 4 a.m. combined with Tammy Lee's persistent questioning and ostensibly her curiosity about those same hours on which there was a lot of activity on Chris Watts' phone as far as movement, and we're talking stairs, which is the same time when Vivint alerts within this house were organically triggered by movement within the house. And during the interview, when investigator Tammy Lee from the Colorado Bureau of Investigation does seem very focused on speaking to Chris about whether or not he went down in the basement at that time I just mentioned and what he did down there. When for the rest of that interview, guys, I think she's a good interviewer, or I think she's clearly good at her job, but she seems so unfocused, as do the other investigators. No, I'm not saying I know more than them or could do better than them or anything like that. It's just, if there was some technique that they were using that I'm not aware of, damn, I want to know what it was so I can just, put my mind to rest. They did their best. It wasn't like, a cluster at bleep of, questions with little communication among the investigators beforehand, because that's what it felt like to me. I would feel good to know that, they had a plan and they knew that they were trying to get, and they had a plan of how they were going to get it and when they were going to stop and when they were going to go. And I would feel better about that because, I want the truth to come out. So let's see what people in chat say here. Let's see. When's McKean says it's on body cam, John. Did you miss that? What are you referring to? So when you're saying to Jennifer, yes, there was. When's, tell me what it is you're referring to, or I'm going to look back a little further. Wow. Let's see. Oh, yeah. So Wens McKean says, yes, Ara, when he was sleeping over at NK's, so he didn't get caught on the alarm coming in the house. So somebody asked me a question about this, I believe during the last live stream, or was it asked in a comment and I made a point of answering it. I don't remember, but, he did. Oh, it was in the context of this. I remember now. Do you think that Shanann had any idea of what was going on with the affair with the mistress? Wouldn't she have seen things that would have tipped her off, like the phone bill or these strange numbers or strange activity in the house, a la the Vivint alerts? Didn't she get an alert to her phone when, the Vivint system, did something? You get an alert to your phone, right? Yes. She did get an alert to her phone, and she did start to, in my opinion, gently question Chris or probe. And I mean, this is not stated outright that on this day, while Shanann Watts was in North Carolina, she did become suspicious that her husband, Chris Watts, was having an affair with another woman. That is not stated in discovery. Don't get me wrong. I know that. I understand that. But there is a point when, Shanann starts to talk to her other friends about like, could there be something weird going on more than I'm willing to admit to myself? I'm paraphrasing. There is a point where she then starts to really act different with Chris and is like asking him like, what's going on with you? And it's after that time when he starts to, first of all, call Vivint, which there's only speculation as to truly and precisely why he was doing that. And, I simply believe and always have that he was trying to change something within how the system worked, or, maybe have some kind of maintenance done, something that might appear to Shanann that the system was down. Something, whatever it was in his crazy Chris Watts mind, to get Vivint in on helping him cover up his own dirty tracks. Because, like Chris Watts, I think, felt like the world owed that to him, But he did start to catch on that it was those Vivint alerts going to Shanann's phone with push notification, that was making her suspicious. So he started to intentionally, open the doors in a different order if he possibly could, all for show, just so Shanann would not get suspicious. It's funny how this theme of doing things all for show in this, part of their lives continues to come back. I don't know. Anyway, I was about to go down not even a rabbit hole, just on a tangent. Might not even have been a good one. So, now I see you guys talking about the cigarettes and stuff. I'm just not going to get in on that one. Trying to think of which way I want to go. All right, let's take a listen to this. Oh my God. Also tomorrow night, guys, we have to talk about Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. Oh my God. It's like the trial it keeps on giving. If you're looking for interesting, strange, legal, but I don't know. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. And in my opinion, Johnny Depp's expert witnesses have been, authentic and relatively humble, and just, you feel their honesty, you feel their absence, generally speaking, of ulterior motive and agenda. Whereas his ex-wife's expert witnesses, and even, like her sister, even people at her family that are testifying for her, they become exposed so quickly because, people are lying to make her look like someone who's not an abuser. It's hard to watch. And man, I hope that woman gets some help when this trial is done, whatever the outcome is, which I don't really care. It's their money. It's really none of my business, but I don't know. Strange stuff. Okay. Whoops. Bear with me for just a moment, my friends. I'm actually looking for one of my own videos that was uploaded a while back. I'm having a hard time finding my own videos. There's so many of them. YouTube needs a way to catalog videos other than just playlists. I think that allows them to be thematically organized. That's what I want. That's what I like things. That's how I like things to be. Thematically organized. Not to the great degree Shanann did with her closets, trust me. But, as far as information, at least, it's nice when you can access the information you're looking for. Guys, some of the comments people leave on videos, oh my God. I have to do a live stream sometime just reading you these things, and oh my gosh, people are funny. People are so funny. Some of you guys are funny. We're fun. We're all funny. People are really funny, man. Okay. I'm almost there, I'm sure of this. You know what? I'm just can't stand seeing you guys sitting here in silence. So there's two things I wanted to find. Actually, I found one of them. I wanted the other one more, but we're going to play this for now while I'm getting the other one on deck for you.
They said they want to know details
Okay. So this is an excerpt of Chris Watts' interview from Dodge Correctional Facility on, I think it was February 18th, 2019, when Tammy Lee Dave Baumhover and Special Agent Corder, I think I introduced it here too, Special Agent Corder, take that trip all the way to Wisconsin in the cold winter when Wisconsin, man, they were saying that there were warnings on the news station saying, be careful because the air is so freaking cold. You can freeze your lungs. That's when they decide it's going to be a nice time to go visit Watts in prison. Obviously, there was some sense of urgency in that trip. Where are talking about Christian Watts? CW said, yeah. That's a good point. Hold it before I move on to that, before I put that video up. And welcome, Vivian. Nice to see you. Welcome, Jamie Smith. How are you? Nice to see you, honey. Hi, Jack. Welcome. Nice to see you as well. Glad you can be here. And Lise, welcome as well. Awesome. Glad you guys are here. So Vivian says, CW said she didn't fight. He either ambushed her at the top of the stairs and showed her the babies that, that was bad news, right? So she obviously wanted to join them. I'm Italian. We fight back. That's funny. Did you write that in a comment like a couple days ago? There have been a couple people that have left that theory. One of them was really detailed, actually. And I was like, that's a pretty solid theory. In comments on videos in the channel recently. And I hadn't heard a lot of people saying that until just a few days ago. So I don't know, maybe you guys are all joined in being onto something, or I was wondering if somebody mentioned it. I don't know. That's just interesting to me. Oh, okay. Karina CC says she thought that too. But it seemed, yeah. So I'll just post this or pin this too. So Karina says, Vivian, I thought that too. She had no defensive wounds or marks, but it seems uncharacteristic of her nature. Yeah. So now Molson Man is opening up the Pandora's box, and this is what I think, if anything. Yeah, okay. So Molson Man says, keep an open mind. The crime could have very well occurred in the basement. So that's where I was going at with, the activity on Watt's phone, including stairs around 4 a.m. and the Vivint alerts going off, and Tammy Lee really asking him about that when during this interview she didn't really push him on many other matters. Also, apparently, and this is according to more than one creator, and I can think of like 3 of them, and one of them I trust, who's been in touch with Cindy and Ronnie Watts. And the one creator that I trust, I know has been in touch with Cindy and Ronnie Watts. So people say, and I don't know if this is true, I've never talked to Cindy Watts. I've never heard this come out of her mouth. I've just heard it a lot from people who claim to have talked to her. That she says, I've heard it said a few different ways. I'll just tell you everything I've heard that I think might have something to it. That there were 4 people in the house that night. Encounter something. I don't know. Encounter is not quite a strong enough word. Is it happened in the basement? And again, this is what I've heard has been told by Cindy Watts. We're starting to play the telephone game here, so I'm just telling you the exact honest truth about that. That something happened in the basement. Conflict happened in the basement. A scuffle happened in the basement. And with those 4 people in the house, whoever they were, things got out of control that night in the Watts basement after Shanann returns home from Arizona. Now, oh gosh, there's so many things I do notice that in the video released of the August 16th interview, the one for which the video was just recently released, we have had the audio for quite some time. I do notice when there's a point where Coder and the other agent ask her about, have you seen the basement? So you've been in the basement? So you've seen the basement? I think Utter Nutter pointed this out one time too when we were watching this video on the channel. She does a lot of blocking. There's a lot of nonverbal communication. Even though she's just saying, oh yeah, I've been down, seen it or whatever. He's got a little workout spot or whatever, dude, her verbal communication when she's talking about, yes, seeing the basement, being in the basement, is really off her normal behavior or baseline, or it's observable. Okay. So yeah, that's part of something we're gonna you'll see
what he was thinking
tomorrow night.
He decided to make a plea deal, and he'll also talk about some things that he says he did with some of the evidence that we to this day are still wondering about. This video clip will close with Chris Watts talking about his relationship with his father and what happened between them on the day he confessed or partially confessed to this tragedy.
And then did you talk about selling the house? Or at what point did you? There was some discussion there with Ann Meadows.
Yeah, she had said.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not sharing that. I meant. Oh my goodness. Okay, here we go. Sorry, guys.
Ann was always about getting pre-approved. Just like, like if you're going to sell your house, get pre-approved for like another house. So it's like,
See,
much
stop
faster.
screen.
Yeah.
Here we go.
When did that happen?
I think I almost just nodded off there, guys. I'm tired.
No, that had been like first week of August, somewhere around there. I think she made contact with her.
So the plan was you needed to buy a house. I think you told me right you needed to buy a house. Right?
Yeah, it's like that Adams 12 school system or something.
Yeah.
So
She likes a lot of things.
Yeah.
What were you thinking about when you called the school that day?
Good question.
I was freaking out. I didn't know, I was thinking in my head, like, what I just did, what I just done. And I didn't know, it was stupid to do anything. To call the school, to call Ann, to call Ann.
Yes, Heather Anderson, welcome. Yes, the purple eye mask in the basement. Yes, that's a thing.
They were right to be,
Is there an echo,
suspicious
guys?
by
My
anything,
earbuds
but
ran out of
I probably
power.
sounded eccentric on the phone and out of sorts. It was, I don't even know what they were thinking. They heard me.
I think they thought it was weird, but I don't know how you would not sound weird, like you said. So
So are you 100% sure?
Okay, I'll repeat that. Just one second. Let me
Still
pause.
around and alive?
Or did you ask that
Well,
recently? Yeah, you did.
that's
Okay, just one second.
pretty accurate.
Oh, I'm actually keeping up with chat. Man, that's crazy. I never keep up with chat. So it's been said, this same relatively consistent story among 3 creators who have reported out about this. Now, they aren't closely tied to one another. Like, they don't work together. Do they all know who one another is? Yes, or probably, but and I was saying one of the creators that claims to, and I certainly believe this one creator, there's several that apparently have communication with Ronnie and Cindy Watts. We could, analyze that forever, but I'm not even going to go there. So let's just say, that's what's said. They have contact with them. And and one of them who reports what I'm about to tell you, I believe very much. This person is very honest, and their facts are usually very good. That something did happen in the basement, because Molson Man had reminded everyone to keep an open mind that where something happened, it might be in the basement. I believe that's a possibility, in addition to Molson Man just being the man. And if he puts it out there, man, I'm going with it. You're awesome, Molson Man. You're great. I was just trying to be funny, not like mean-spirited. So I hope it came across as not being mean-spirited, but just me being tired and loopy. So, one of the dogs that did search the house with its handler did hit on the basement. And again, I don't remember precisely what was said. I wasn't reviewing this footage before the live stream. I haven't watched this particular footage in a while, actually. One of the handlers, the one whose dog showed interest in a certain spot in the basement by the mats, the handler was trying to make like some arrangements or some preliminary arrangements to get back down there, and then somehow it just fizzled away. Perhaps he was totally following protocol, and we're just not privy to every word that was said. I'm not saying he did anything wrong, but that's just what happened. So apparently, Mrs. Watts, Chris's mother, tells these creators that there were 4 people in the house that night. Now, it's not clear to me if they say at some point in that night, Shanann didn't get home until 1:48 a.m. It's technically early morning. Is she referring to, they were there from, I don't know, like 9:30 to, when is it when we see those headlights on Nate's security camera footage on his own TV? I think it's like 11:28 or something. So maybe till like right around then. Or is she saying that she knows or believes that there were 4 people there, over that, when Shanann got home? She says that an altercation or a confrontation did occur from the people that say they've spoken to her, and she's given them accounts in the basement. And something I 100% believe, and I've heard it from more than these 3 creators, with details that would say, okay, yeah, these people, are all telling the same story. And that Chris Watts' former mistress gave him an ultimatum that night, a hard ultimatum, a emotion-filled ultimatum. Maybe we could say an ultimatum that was, fuming with instability and chaos, right? I feel that's very consistent with what we've seen of Chris Watts' former mistress and her personality, and the amount of participation she was enjoying on behalf of his life, when he wasn't really seeming to pull her in. And what I mean is things like her self-described dogged search for an apartment for Chris Watts outside of the home with his wife, when, guys, Chris knew he wasn't going to be able to afford a loaf of cornbread, let alone an apartment of his own, with the financial ruins they were in at the time. There's no reason in talking about whether or not that would have turned around, because the financial aspect is so much less important than the fact that their lives ended. But yeah, so I hope I didn't get too far off topic there. I'm just going to go back to the video. What happened now? What happened now? Why no sound now? Why no sound now? Why no sound for me? Let's see here. There's a reason. Oh, because I didn't press play. That's why, guys. Oh my God. Woo! Oh.
Where did the blanket go?
either probably in the trash can or something. The trash, it wasn't like, it was still in my truck.
Okay. Well, we thought we saw some GPS where you would stop by your construction.
Yeah, I did, and you guys
Is
blew
that
it.
true, or-
I mean, Jane did. Never mind.
I had dumped my clothes in there. So that would have been on the way back to the house.
Oh my god.
Yeah. When Officer Kumar was there. It's one of those red construction dumpsters. What am I doing?
Did you pack new clothes? How did that
I
work?
already have some in there, just like, in case you have like a spill or something.
Oh.
Give me a crude oil on you know. Yeah, I had like 2 pairs of boots, all kinds of different stuff in there, just because like.
There's a small echo. All right, I'll see if I can get my Bluetooth charged back up, but they're dead. They're gone. They're dead to the world. Give me a minute. I'll see what I can do.
So where did you keep them?
Unfortunately,
after you took
until
them
then,
off?
for
Like, you
tonight,
just change out
I'm
there
gonna have to
into
say I'm
your
just sorry about the
other-
echo.
So like I dumped my clothes.
Oh wait, here I have another pair. Let's see if they
But it
work.
wasn't that on the way back when you were coming. Like you'd already worked the whole day, right?
I worked like
So,
So that was back when Nicole Atkinson. Yeah, when she was at
Yeah,
my
when she
house, the doorbell is when I knew I'm at the house. Right.
did you think right then, like, oh fuck, like here we go, or what were you thinking then?
I didn't even know why she was there. I was like, I didn't know, like, maybe she had an appointment or something. I didn't know.
What did you think like that?
I didn't know
day,
anything.
Like, what you were gonna say? Like, what was your plan? Were you just gonna go home and be like, report to the police that your family's gone, or?
Once, I had no idea what was gonna happen. Like, after everything, I mean, I don't even know how I was even acting, even when all the people that was around. Like Troy and Cody and Chad and Willis and all of them, when they showed up on site, I didn't know how I was even being somebody hearing what I was saying, preparing and everything. But I didn't know what was happening. Like I said, it wasn't like something like some criminal minds type.
Like, well thought out.
Yeah, it was nothing. I had no idea what was going on.
Once the room was gone, was it also submitted by anything as far as oil tanks?
Yeah, I just didn't know what to do. I mean, I just thinking about oil tanks, making much more.
As it should.
And was that because it was running up there where it was and just hit itself? Was it a plan beforehand? Okay. Was there any reason why the separate ones?
No, just like I said, going upstairs and Frank said, like I was trying to separate everybody. No.
But what was the reason?
I can't even tell you, it's like something else was in control of what I was doing, and like I was doing something I never thought I would ever do in my life.
Did you think there would be less chance of someone finding them if they were in separate things, or?
Whatever my reason was my head, what was the outcome?
You don't even remember thinking about it.
It was just like it was like a reaction of something that I wasn't even thinking of.
Did you talk about the trash bags? Do you remember that?
Oh,
Two.
Okay. Trying to like just see cameras. I didn't want to. When I was putting one picture, I guess something I had, like I didn't want to go to Shanann. All there in that backseat.
So what did you do?
Put a trash bag on one end and on their feet, on their head, so they didn't have to see.
And they were just a little kind of figure out, right?
I just like when I was driving out there was just, just there, there's this kind of asleep, or kind of just like, holding on to each other, like each other's laps.
Do you remember having any thoughts or something about why not just putting them all together there, Shanann?
It was happening since that time. I really thought that was my own. He would be trying to separate anybody passing away, trying to keep that place separate. Everything, Frank said, I don't know, totally against them, and they take me for, they have the right to take me for the rest of their lives.
They don't believe you.
While we're on the subject, I speak with them weekly, and I told them that we were going to come here, and then we would speak with us. They told me to tell you, understandably, they're devastated. But they actually said that they love you, they still love you. And Sandy explained it, he's our son-in-law for 8 years, they can't just turn that off. So they don't hate him.
That's amazing to hear that.
Yeah, well, and I can tell you, Sandy was the one that was most resistant to penalties in this case. And she said that, she told me that from the very beginning. She didn't want that. It's God's decision. It's not her decision. And she told me that even then. So it's not just a one-time thing that she has said it to me. It's been over the whole course of the event. So that's probably one of the most honest things someone's ever told me. So it's pretty amazing. Faith is, she's obviously a believer. So am I. I get it. So I understand it.
That's amazing to hear that.
Yeah. Good people.
I would have figured they would have hated me for.
They don't. I mean, yeah, anybody would think that. I certainly would, but I have to admit, I was surprised. I'm really taken back by that. But certainly don't.
What did they say when they knew you were coming out here?
They said they want to know details because they need closure. And that's really all they want. They want to keep it private. And so absolutely, talk about what he told us, just so they can put it past them. They're having a hard time dealing with it and kind of get past it all. And I think that may help. Just
like closure. I mean, my parents still think, I told them I was guilty for a reason.
right.
And I told it to them, and they had that video phone thing in Colorado the day before, I pled guilty, I plead guilty for a reason. I didn't just, I knew other people were watching. I didn't just go in and say anything. They seemed to take it. Okay.
What made you do that, Chris? What made you plead guilty?
I didn't want anybody else. I didn't want them to go through this for 2 or 4 years. I didn't want my attorneys to lie for me for 3 or 4 years. They would have done.
This is such a load of bullshit, and it pisses me off whenever I hear it. Why did you plead, Chris? I didn't want everyone going through that for 2 to 4 years. I didn't want my attorneys lying to me for 4 years. They would have done it, What he's really saying is, I don't want to be humiliated and embarrassed and remember the terrible thing that I did in my own heart, if I have one, in my own mind for that period of time. And mostly, I want to emphasize, Tammy, I can't handle the embarrassment that would come with a trial. That's why I pled. That's what this guy's really saying.
Anything I told them to do. That's what I don't see how they can do that. That's what attorneys do. They take their.
Hi, Anaphylaxis. How are you?
What happened? They will go with that story. I told them everything I just told you guys. And it's just they got together, if they ever offered a plea deal, would you ever want to like, just plead guilty to. I'm like, yeah, I mean, if we can end this, end it. Like, I was like in September, I told them that.
Really?
Yeah, they like, but you know, it was way too early, and prosecution was still doing their
Exactly.
grabbing evidence
Ara.
and all kind of stuff, and that wasn't even on the table. So I think it was like around Halloween. I think that's when the prosecution went to Frank and Sandy, Frankie's house. And talking like, if we can end this, would you
Right.
be open to that? And that's when, like, you know, like the whole death penalty and everything, all that conversation happened. And
What's going on, John, my friend?
they were
With this
surprised that if it would.
something about Watts Island, or I don't know.
We were
Everyone
all
just
in
be
shock.
cool.
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not saying you're not, John.
It's like we were going 100 miles an hour and then we just hit a brick wall. Like that's what it felt like for all of us. So I mean, obviously you had more time to
Yeah, I mean,
contemplate it than
yeah,
us.
I told them.
Okay, this irritates the crap out of me as well. And then we're gonna segue into just a point, an important point about the inconsistency in the discovery in this case and the screwed up way they handled evidence, or didn't handle evidence, depending on how you want to look at it. So, you know, Tammy's talking now about how, you know, yeah, Chris, it was like hitting a brick wall, you know, like you pled and the investigation just stops. You know, she says that on Criminal Confessions. It's probably the most popular little sound clip or sound bite from that kind of documentary that was on it was Lifetime, Oxygen, one of those networks. I have it on my channel. A lot of other people do. I'm sure it's on the original channel that created it too. I just can't remember if it was Lifetime or Oxygen. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So, you know, she famously or infamously, you know, for true crime says that. And now she's saying this again here. But guys, I have a problem with this, okay? Chris Watts' trial was on her sentencing, I believe. If I'm getting this date wrong, go ahead and correct me in chat. I'd like to correct myself, but off the top of my head, I think it's November 8th, 2018. So it's on that day, obviously, that he officially pleads to the court. He's sentenced. And we hear, you know, DA Rourke as a district attorney and prosecutor saying a lot of words. I don't know what DA Rourke's deal is. I don't know if I think he's as evil as many people, from my understanding, think he is. But man, he said a lot of words really carelessly at that very important event. Anyway, and then, you know, the victims made their impact statements and, you know, the family spoke and all of that. Okay, so that was on November 8th, 2018. Okay, so Tammy Lee, you know, the lead investigator from the Colorado Bureau of Investigation says several times now that she knows will be available to the public and is available for our ears. That the something like to the effect of, you know, the clock stopped when he pled. When Chris Watts pled, it was so hard. It was so difficult for us because we didn't get to complete our investigation. There was so much more investigating to do. Wait. There were witnesses to interview. There were leads to follow up on. And, you know, and I believe her certainly about all of that. I mean, it's 3.5 years later, and look at all of us still feeling that way, you know? But here's my problem. It's the timing. It's the dates. So it was on November 8th, 2018, was he sentenced guilty and sent away to prison. Technically, and in legal theory, and in all reality, until that sentencing, well, and even after, because there's various opportunities for shots at appeal, for movement towards an appeal, and other motions. that may or may not be available to a person. And so that was November 8th, 2018. November 8th, 2018. Now, it was also Tammy Lee who spoke about the critical importance of Chris Watts' work truck during the course of their interview at the Frederick Police Department. The interviews, where Special Agent Graham Coder was also present. And for some time, Ronnie Watts was also present, right? She says to him several times when he says, Tammy, I just don't know. I don't know what happened. They went to a friend's house. Just bend over, let me blow some more smoke, and she finally starts to, kind of raise her voice and kind of mentally corner him a little bit, saying, Chris, we know they left in your truck. In fact, there's no other way they could have left the house. If you left at this time in the morning and we see that happen on your neighbor's security camera footage, and we don't see your wife or your beautiful little girls leave any other time during the day, yet they're not in the house, the only way, Chris, they could have left is in your freaking truck, right? So doesn't it seem natural to you guys, to anyone, that, Tammy Lee is so certain that Chris Watts' family, who is not to be found, left the house in his truck and probably met some horrific fate? And of course, we know that Graham Coder is of that thinking too, and he mentions that it just happens to be Tammy Lee that's really pounding on it. So wouldn't you think, since our law enforcement investigators and agents are so certain that the family left in that truck, in what condition, they don't really know yet. They're just kind of speculating and hoping that, they can kind of stump the chump and no one's going to ask too many questions of them, right? Like, hopefully, we can do the question asking and people aren't going to ask too much of us, and we can just kind of keep their head spinning, keep them a little confused. Sometimes, guys, and I'm not being, trying to be trite or spiteful, but it does sometimes seem like that was their primary plan of attack, the method they were using. Okay, so they make a big deal about the work truck, a super big deal about the work truck. It's one of the only things that Tammy Lee and Graham Coder, when they're interviewing Watts, when they're still looking for Shanann and the girls, it's one of the only things that they speak about to him is being sure of this. They left in your truck. So it always bothers me to tears when I think about or read this part of the discovery that I'm going to share with you right now. Let's see. Mouse goes that way. Good. All right. For those of you that haven't been here throughout the whole live stream, I just want to let you know there is going to be another live stream tomorrow night at 9 p.m. That's Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. I have some content put together and prepared. I was gonna, we're gonna chew on that tonight, but started a new job this week. It's a pretty intense job. I have a commute. I've been not getting a lot of sleep. I'm pretty tired. And I want tomorrow's night's live stream, I want you guys to be excited about it. And I think there's some contributions from you guys. I think there are some things in there that you're going to find very interesting, and that for me, they shed a new light on certain things. And that's all I'm going to say about that. So I hope you can make it tomorrow night. Okay, so let me share this other document with you now. So much to share, so little time. Well, really, so much time. But, okay. Rini. So we're going to stop that for now. Stop. And we're going to share this, the Chris Watts discovery page. I can't remember. I think it's 691. I don't know. We'll look at it when we see it. You know, another common question that people ask, attached to videos that I upload or during the course of live streams or when they email me or whatever, is why was there no evidence taken from the work truck? Why was the work truck not processed at all? I know that they impounded it, someone might say, but they didn't process it as being part of the crime scene, which, based on what we just discussed about Tammy Lee and Graham Coder being so certain that Shanann and the girls must have left through his work truck, you would think quite the opposite. So this document says, you may have heard me read from it before. I remember I had read it to John McSmith once, part of it. All right, it says, please note the date, guys. It should be noted. Let me make it bigger. Come on, discovery document. I'm too tired for you to be all picky like this. Come on. All right, there you go. It should be noted that on 9/4/2018. Oh, wait. So, oh my gosh, this is dated on September 4th, 2018. Let's see. Okay, tomorrow I'll ask my students, what comes first, September or November? They're going to report back to us because they're smart that, wow, September comes first. It comes September 4th. It's when this is dated. I've got to read the whole thing to you, I know still. And he pled on November 8th. So that's a full 2 months. Okay, so fine. Let me keep reading. On September 4th, 2018, while running through the evidence submission list with lab tech Patricia Lopez, several items were listed that the CBI lab ultimately did not wish to take possession of at that time. So it's the CBI lab. They did not wish to take possession of these items at that time. Much of the evidence that there wasn't them. As far as I know, some evidence that I just want to make an accurate statement as I know it to be. So you have to be careful with that with this case. Well, and always, but especially this case. Some evidence that was analyzed and tested was, of course, tested at this CBI lab where they have greater capabilities than, like a local, law enforcement agency, most likely. Maybe not necessary for everything to go to like Quantico for state-of-the-art testing. But, some of the evidence that was tested was, of course, sent here. This goes on to say those items are crossed out on the evidence submission form. So they're saying the items that the CBI lab did not wish to take in for analysis, they're crossed off on the evidence submission form, which has been added to the case file. The refused items are as follows. So again, these items are being refused for analysis by the Colorado Bureau of Investigations. They have the evidence. They're just saying, no, we got it. We have this evidence. Not a boo-boo, but no, we're not going to test it. It's cool. We're good. And guys, this is more than 2 months before Chris Watts pled to the crimes. So they're refusing to take the oral swabs, the control swabs. Now there are several items here that they are refusing to take into the CBI lab for analysis that were obtained after through the autopsy. I'm going to just go past those because you guys all know that that is not my area of expertise, or not even that. It's not my area of comprehension. What I'm interested in looking at, for the purpose of me being really mad about it, and have been ever since I read this, and think other people should be too, and for this video and for our combined search for justice for the victims, CBI lab refused for analysis. Driver side seat cover from Watts' work truck. They also refused for analysis, although the evidence had been collected. Trace lifts from the corner console. And they refused for analysis, although the evidence had been collected. Trace lifts from the back seat, the driver's side back seat of Chris Watts' work truck. This statement goes on to say the items that were not taken by CBI were transported back to the Frederick Police Department and checked into evidence because any items with any evidence that, had been collected, but, wasn't, sent somewhere else for analysis or been processed or whatever, is cared for under the watchful eye of the Weld County District Attorney's Office. So that's therefore, they're not hopefully just gonna, burn these trace lifts. Maybe they have by now. We don't know. I'd like to know where this stuff is. Wouldn't you? Just a moment here. So again, law enforcement had collected, samples from the driver's side seat cover from Chris Watts' work truck, trace lifts from the center console of Chris Watts' work truck, and trace lifts from the back seat, the seats upon which Bella and Celeste were supposedly sitting while their deceased mother lay on the flatboard of the back seat of his truck while their daddy drives them 41 miles, which took over an hour to drive to, which I also wonder about. All that was going on in that truck. And remember, Tammy Lee and Graham Coder were damn sure of it. They told Chris about it many times, but they didn't insist that Tammy Lee's own agency just accept that evidence that had already been collected for a thorough analysis. I mean, I will never get over this point, never ever, until I have answers from an official source. Let me go back to chat. Let's see. Seems to me, trying to find a place to get here. Trace lifts and what in the backseat. I'm reading the stream chat and okay, so okay, that was pretty recent. So let's see. Karina said, I don't know if you can, I'm sharing the page of the discovery. I know not everybody is watching on something where you can even see that stuff though. So it just says trace lifts from the back seat. So it doesn't, we don't have any more detailed information than that. Trace lifts from the center console of his work truck and samples from the driver's side front seat of his work truck, which, if those samples were analyzed, it's very likely we would know with a great degree of certainty who drove that truck from Saratoga Trail to Cervi and possibly somewhere in between, guys, because that 41-mile drive took him over an hour. I can't remember the exact hour and how many minutes right now, mostly because I'm tired because I just did a presentation on it kind of recently. But it's primarily a highway drive. It's primarily a highway drive with a speed limit of at least 65. What is it usually on the state highways in Colorado, Molson Man? I just know it's higher than New York. I don't know. So I just want to think about this, guys. So this just pisses me off. So if this evidence, guys, that was collected but was not analyzed, it might still be around, it might not. We don't know. But guys, we should know. We don't know? That's freaking terrible, and that's a terrible outcome here. Awful. This evidence that was obtained, collected, but not analyzed is under the watch, safekeeping jurisdiction of the Weld County DA's office, DA Rourke and his team. Since DA Rourke and his team have been less than forthcoming throughout the entirety of, well, everything I've known about them since this tragedy happened, I think it's a real shame that that is who is overseeing this critical evidence that I'd like to think maybe it was a mistake that it wasn't fully analyzed, but it doesn't appear to be. There's more, though. Looking at the timing of this filing and discovery about the refused evidence, which was September 4th, 2018, and then when the trial was, or when the sentencing was, I'm sorry, my gosh, I had wishful thinking there for a moment, so sorry, November 18th, over 2 months later, it's a bunch of bullshit to say that Chris Watts stopped the clock. Chris Watts stopped nothing. Law enforcement had already stopped the clock. I mean, what would be more representative of the investigatory clock coming to a halt than, although you just witnessed us, world, questioning / interrogating Chris Watts for hours upon hours upon hours upon hours upon hours upon hours after his pregnant wife and 2 little girls went missing. And by the way, everybody, we won like a medal and stuff like that for solving the crime. So after you all heard us talking about the certainty we had that the only way Shanann and those beautiful girls could have left the house was through his watch truck. But 2 months before the man is set pleas officially and is sentenced, they're refusing to analyze that evidence. I mean, clearly they already stopped the investigatory clock. Because if the clock is still ticking after you make that judgment call as the lead agency in investigating this crime, at that point in the investigation, after you make that call, you're going to need to make a really good case to convince me that there's still any kind of investigation going on. You know? Terrible, painful. Okay, this is a good question, but Mara says, do you think that they were okay to let it end so fast because of how horrific it was? And gosh, there's no denying how horrific, oh my God, you know, there's no words. I can't go any further than horrific, egregious. I don't know the words. It's more than that, but I just don't know what the words are. I think that there was consciousness that it was going to put the community through a lot, obviously, as far as costs, and particularly under the watchful eye of District Attorney Rourke. You know, spending any kind of money was always going to be unlikely or an uphill battle. But then with the additional, that would, I can't remember what the original question was. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. I think that they were aware it was going to put the community through a lot, just emotionally and psychologically too. Because this is really like freaking just like effed up to the max. It's it's like it's just, I mean, I don't want to challenge myself to think of a more horrific crime because I don't want to go there. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think the question that Ara asked, do you think that they were maybe okay to, just sort of, okay, let's get the plea. And also, I have a real problem just with the semantics of what Tammy Lee says that, Chris Watts stopped the clock. He didn't stop the clock. He's the criminal. He's in handcuffs and shackles. He's wearing an orange jumpsuit and he doesn't get soap to clean his body parts. Okay. He made no calls really after he was taken in. He was, however it happened, I don't even really, well, I guess I do care because it could be corrupt, but I don't know. Somehow he came to the determination that he was going to plea. I'm sure he didn't feel confident in it. I'm sure his attorneys didn't feel confident in it. Look what he's done. Look what you've done, Chris. Look what you've done now. A plea deal might not get you out of this one, Chris. You better go in the bathroom and start praying. So, it was a district attorney's office that decided, okay, that plea's cool. We're going to accept it. I mean, I don't know if they said that plea's cool, but that they were going to accept that plea, even though the crime was so serious, even though there were so many unanswered questions, even though, there was, just, I don't know. So do you guys think that the investigators or the community or the courts or the families, do you think they were okay to just kind of let it go and let him do the plea thing, even if they thought it should go to trial, just because they wanted to avoid it being really, traumatizing for others as the trial played out? Yeah. Good question, Mixie. I'll get to you in a second. I just want to see if there's any others that are gonna kind of set up the volley for your question. I didn't hear that he actually admitted to the murders, only this was his decision. So, okay, right, okay. That's interesting. I think I know what you mean, so I'm going to go with this. And if I'm reading your comment wrong, if my interpretation's wrong, Sherry, just set me straight. So Sherry says, I don't hear that he actually admitted to the murders, only this was his decision. Yeah, and there's a distinction there, right? Big distinction. Yeah. And that terminology in itself, this is my decision, so strong in the decision is interesting too. I really am very tired, guys. This week has been very challenging for me. And I just run off mid-thought. That's why. I'll be sharp tomorrow. Now, guys, at the very least, and I did look into this, and anyone who's involved in the legal system in any way, or if anaphylaxis, you're somebody who is a former sergeant, detective, I'm sure, the things vary from jurisdiction to jurisdiction and state to state all across this wonderful United States of ours. If you're here, if you're not in the United States, it is wonderful. Sometimes. Shoot, I lost my thought again. Oh, but For a crime like this, with murders of, a pregnant woman and 2 super young little babies and an unborn baby, the district attorney, the court and the district attorney's office can play with the parameters of a plea deal. They can squeeze the criminal a bit. They don't have to accept the first plea that comes out there. In fact, rarely do they ever accept the first plea that's out there. They could have, said, okay, you can plea, but a condition of that plea, Mr. Watts, is that you need to tell us what happened, because these families, your family, Mr. Watts, they need closure. And if you are going to escape the full wrath of our judicial system, we need you. We need you to show us that you are, in fact, taking responsibility for the crime you committed, that you are willing to atone for the crime you committed in some way, I guess by reading the Bible, whatever he does, I don't know, and that you are respectful enough of the justice system and the family's wishes or whatever, or just anything other than yourself, to tell us what really happened. And by the way, it better line up with the evidence that we do have, because we're going to hold you accountable, and it has to be in line with what we know, or your freaking plea deal can go up your what, and you can march back to your cell, and we'll see ya in trial. Like, that's done all the time. They didn't have to accept his plea deal. The fact that they did was a head turner. Did CW ever receive a psych eval? Not to my knowledge, he did not receive a comprehensive psych eval. No. Isn't that crazy? Oh gosh, I know these. When I think of these things all together, like it's maddening. Let's see. Hi, Sarah. How are you? GSR. Help me out, girl. Acronym. What's GSR? GS. Let's see. Yeah. So Sherry, yeah, I've heard David Carter talk about Chris Watts and what they spoke about. He's been on this channel. I hear David's is gone fishing for a little bit, but I talk to him. He communicates somewhat regularly. Yeah, I think it's very interesting too. A gunshot residue. Thank you. Thank you for the acronym, the translation, Anna. For training purposes, right? Oh my goodness. I really want to get some of your opinions here. I'm not going to keep this live stream going too much longer, because we're going to meet up again tomorrow at 9. I have to be at work in a few hours and drive there and try to get some sleep tonight at my new job, my new exciting but tiring job. He did, and they said it was normal. The psych eval? He did not have a standard comprehensive psych eval. I'll get you some more detail. I just wrote that down in my little notebook. It means it's coming your way. No statement garnered evidence unless presented in court. Not you. That's exactly. Well, yes, that's correct. Sarah's so factual. I like it. All right. It was finance, not doubt in my mind. Mark Klein, because there's unanswered questions and had pressure from the public. I want to get back to like a good starting spot to go through some of your comments here, but they're all good, so I keep going back up. Were you? Oh, was I going to? Yes. Thank you, Meg. Thank you for bringing that back up. I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm really sleepy. I'm getting a little just wee. Okay. Meg had a question I really want to get to. I was actually looking for somebody to set up our question because sometimes that happens. But let's just look at it. Yeah. They were terrible, awful, disgusting. Yeah. Anyone like me, friends of mine that I tell the details of this case or whoever, that's like not you guys. They're just, I'm sure you guys, if you ever talk about it, if you're truly belong here, if you're truly upset, I'm just kidding. You belong here no matter what. You know how people react, like, what the fuck? Like, what? Are you serious? That it's shocking. It's no words. We do need a trial here. Now, okay. I want to get to Meg's question, but something else we're going to talk about tomorrow. I don't even want to start to get into it now because it's too late and I'm too tired and I have too much work tomorrow. But we're going to talk about a step that is often required by a court. If somebody were allowed the privilege, because truly it is, guys, to take a plea deal when they're charged with something this heavy and terrible, this despicable, so, for people just saying, oh, well, they can't try a case and spend all that money and all that time and all that heartache just because you guys are obsessed with this case. You true crime people. Oh my God, they can't just do like a trial for you. Well, no, it's not just that. In many states, I'm not 100% clear on Colorado. I've researched this a few times. I just am researching it again for what we're doing right now and tomorrow night and the next live stream. And I'm finding conflicting information about Colorado's justice system. So if anyone has a more clear answer of the question, you don't even know what it is yet, I'm going to spit out in a second, please let me know. In many states, there is some kind of a step, and it's called something different in a number of different states, or internationally they do this too. If somebody's going to plea, especially to a crime this awful, there's a hearing or a session and again, whatever it is, when people meet and talk about the evidence that exists to say, okay, this person's plea deal to this freaking horrendous, like inhumane crime is consistent enough with the evidence that we have worked to find that has been made available to the public, who we have to answer to as elected officials or as law enforcement serving your community. They missed that step. They didn't have any step where they did kind of an internal checks and balance of their own, really, district attorney's office, where they said, okay, well, hey, he's going to plea. We've got to make sure, for the sake of the integrity of our justice system, that the evidence that we do have, even if we handled it like crap, it does support his plea. It does support what he's saying. And if DA Rourke chose to, like I said, they could go so far as to say, and it does support, or it's at least consistent kind of with the confession that we made Chris Watts give as a term of the privilege of a plea. Oh, crap. It's just all a bunch of crap. Yeah. Okay, I got to get to my question. I'm going to really forget. Where was Meg's question? Back up. I'm getting there, Meg. Hi, Talisa. How are you? It's nice to see you here. Huh. No, but see, this is exactly what I'm saying, my darling. Listen. So, Talisa says the DA did not want them to investigate any further, is why Tammy and Chris stopped the clock. They had a confession. That was the end. No. So, I guess what I was saying was, in my mind, it is completely correct and legitimate. And I mean, really about as right as you can get to say that the clock for the investigatory clock for all intents and purposes stopped. Perhaps even before, but at least when this letter that's in discovery was dated, which is September 4th, 2018, when Colorado Bureau of Investigations, Tammy Lee's own agency, refused to analyze the evidence that had already been collected from Chris Watts' work truck. That's not Chris Watts stopping the investigation. That's not even DA Rourke stopping the investigation, guys. That's the investigation stopping itself. Gotta get to my next question. Ooh, yikes. Meg, where's your... Oh, okay, right. Okay, gotcha. So Meg's question was this. I honestly forgot what it was, Meg. Just because I'm so tired, nothing personal. Did Frank and Sandra R have influence in stopping the investigation? They had a voice in taking the death penalty off the table. Yes, they did. And they had a huge voice in that. I mean, many of you know just as much about this and about this case in general as I do. If you please tell me in chat, or tomorrow night, I'm going to open up to live panel if you want to come up and talk about it. I knew I wasn't going to be able to let the live stream go on long enough to accommodate a live panel. Yeah, because, law enforcement or the district attorney and who went with him, Ren? Squirrely Weasley. He's more like Weasley, little Ren. Flew out to North Carolina to sit down at the R's table with them on their own turf, in their own home, in their own comfort spot, and talk to them about that. Talk to them about what they want to do. So, I mean, according to everyone, according to the R's, according to the DA, yeah, they had complete say in it. Yeah, for sure. And I know that, prosecutor's office, they will look to the family, of course, but, this is just, another thing about this district's attorney's office. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't claim to know every district attorney's office in the country. Maybe you have an opinion on it. Please let me know. A district attorney's office in general, to me, seems very concerned with, getting justice down to a T and obtaining justice whenever possible and every time if possible. And of course, if something terrible like this happens, let's take the family's feelings and thoughts into account because, man, we're seeing their pain up close and it's horrendous. Like, let's do that for them, right? But it's almost like, in this case, I'm not saying anything bad about the R's. I've said it a million times. I'll say it again. They seem like good people to me. So does Chris Watts' family. I personally am I support both of them and, I want them to live good lives and not be, intentionally harmed. And I feel immensely for the loss that they've had that I can't even comprehend. But it seems like in this case, the district attorney's office kind of flipped the priority rather than, justice always and at all costs and always if possible first. And yes, of course, the family is important. It seems like in this case, it was like, we've got to find out what the family wants us to do because that's what we have to hold is most important. And hopefully we will, slide away with the, at least the appearance of justice, looming over this case so we can get our awards. And I don't know about the awards, but I think it really annoys me that they got awards for solving this case. I don't think they did. Oh, thank you, Utter Nutter. Thanks for the channel membership is $2.99 a month. I always appreciate it very much. I really want to start doing some members only things. There are enough members now, like to kind of like make it would work. I have it set up. I just haven't made it live yet. The members only options, that is. Anaphylaxis also has a response for Meg. And Anaphylaxis says, Meg McSee, I believe the R's did ask to take the death penalty off the table. Yes. As for the rest, I don't know. There's a lot been hidden from the public in this case. That is very true. And yeah. Oh, Ara, thank you for becoming a member, my doll. Thank you so much. That was super duper quick too. Rare. Thank you. Yeah. So, and Anaphylaxis is being a little more careful, or maybe she's being more in line with the words that have actually been spoken that the public are privy to. My, strong certainty answering affirmatively to you, Meg, is just that, to me, it's clear that I just don't feel like the DA's office was running their own ship. They were looking to sources that perhaps they shouldn't have been looking to first and foremost, above and before their own, handling of the justice system, which they should be leading that. There's a freaking district attorney's office. Yeah. So this is another problem. I was considering whether or not I should go into even mentioning this. This is one of the things that I'm most disgusted with the district attorney's office for. Well, not per se what Sarah's saying, but Sarah says death penalty was going away, and if LE sold it to the R's as if they had influence upon it actually being dealt out, then it is misrepresentation by a government official, in my opinion. Thought your comment was going to say something slightly different, but this is great too. And yeah, in my opinion as well. Now, okay, so let's go back to, Dr. Phil's podcast, The Devil Beside Me, that aired, I think it was, I don't know, it was a couple of years ago. Again, excuse me, I'm super tired. If I'm getting any facts squishy here, just tell me to get them right, and I'll provide them to you correctly tomorrow night for sure, up front. First of all, in the beginning of, the episode 3, Dr. Phil says that he believes, and again, I'm paraphrasing, and he states that the R's believe that, Kessinger was, involved, up to her eyeballs, and at the last minute, she got cold feet and, thought or said to herself, you better save yourself, girl. During that same recording, he refers to Chris Watts' former mistress. This must be making her very nervous. Dr. Phil is not one, in my opinion, to walk the fine line of libel and slander and defamation. So what that means to me is, in order for him to even make those statements, Dr. Phil McGraw must have had a high degree of certainty that what he was saying was accurate, factual, and legally, if challenged, it would stand up in any court, He also goes on to say that, well, you know, he says it was the Rusiks that believed that she was involved. When he interviews the Rusiks after Tammy Lee and Coder and Baumhover interview Chris Watts in prison, and Chris Watts gives effectively his third confession that shocked everyone, that admits, if that's how you want to word it, since some people don't believe anything he says, but this confession states, I guess we'll go there, that I killed Shanann, yes, this is how. And then I put Bella and Celeste in the back of my work truck, the truck where you gathered evidence. You actually gathered evidence from the seat that they sat on, huddled together, hugging each other, trading off, taking naps, or however he was questioned and going to characterize it. Let's test those samples. No, that didn't happen, but oh my God. Anyway, so then Dr. Fell interviewed the R's right after that interview happened or was released, or I don't know the exact order in there, but they wanted to be the ones, he says, they wanted to be the ones to first break the news to the country and to the international world, truly, of course, obviously, of what really happened to their grandchildren. You know, just like when the NK video came out of the August 16th interview, people had waited for so long. Plunder pushed that out. Plunder was the agent that caused, the Weld County District Attorney's Office to finally do the right thing and put that video out there. It had been noted in a couple places. It's sitting in locker number 4 in Discovery. Well, they know how many people wanted to see that video and made a good case under the Freedom of Information Act and through other means, you know, to get that video. They held on to it. It was Plunder who gave them a very illegal, gave them an ultimatum, basically. If we don't get that video, I'm looking for, hey, I need an attorney in Colorado. What's your retainer fee? I'm willing to pay it. This is getting crazy. We need to know the contents of, whatever. So, Rachel Townsend, thank you for becoming a member. Thank you very much. That's awesome. Totally helps the channel. I very, very, very much appreciate it. Thank you very much. Guys, I posted the video about, who should get the insurance money, the R's or the Watts or someone else, and I posted that video because, well, you can take it however you want. You can say whatever you want about it. As you know, I am a big supporter of freedom of speech and expression. So I'm not backing down on that. The reason I posted that video is because too many people, or certain people too loudly, were saying, that the R's had a motive to kill their own freaking daughter and grandkids. And that motive somehow was, you got to follow the money, that insurance payout, please. I mean, that is so absurd to me. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. But people then would, leave comments on this channel or come into chat, and they would repeat that BS as though it was gospel. And I'm not okay with that. So that's why I ended up putting out the video. And, as a natural result of that video about the insurance money, since the R's and the Watts all made claim to the proceeds, the natural discussion is gonna be, who do you think should have gotten it? What do you think should have happened with that money? But I'm not trying to create a deeper divide between the two families, is what I'm trying to say. And please be respectful when debating that point and talking about the families. Yeah. Uh-oh. Molson Man and John are or do a debate soon, please let that happen tomorrow night on Watts, The Obsession, 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Let's see. I'm trying to pin that. Okay. Did that answer your question, Meg? Let's see. So Chris had I misspoke by $50,000 in that video, and it was either 300 or 350 on Shanann and 75 on each Bella and Celeste. Which, please, I'm not going to go over it again, and I'm not saying to you, Jennifer, my dear, but it's a video I posted just a few days ago. It says it's like follow the money, honey, or something like that. It's 100% factually correct. I hope I break it down real, so it's understandable and digestible. It's only 10 minutes long, less, I think. I can't remember. It's short. Please, if you have a feeling that one of the families was somehow involved in these murders because of that life insurance money, or any other money, please watch that video. I'm not, admonishing you for having that view if you do have it, but what I think everyone needs to think about, and I will say as an instruction to all, you got to consider your sources, consider where you got the information that caused any view to form, right? $20,000 each policy, Shanann. If I have the paperwork, it's a matter, the paperwork is public record. I had a friend of mine actually pulled it because he was able to get more as an attorney, which makes it really not, I don't know. I'm not sure on the details. I'm not going to say anything more about that, but I can let you know when I do confirm the details. Hi, Hochi Winner. How are you? Nice to see you. Yeah, no. I wasn't saying you thought it was about the money, Jennifer, but just by the way, because I think I had you pinned when I said that. I wasn't referring to you though, sweetheart. No, not at all. I mean, the money, and it's kind of an interesting thing. To me, it's interesting how, the insurance company, doesn't want to have anything to do with making the decision of where the claim is going to land, and how we have, have civil procedure for that. I find that all would be super interesting. And guys, I mean, life insurance policies are meant to be paid out. They're meant to be paid out. They don't exist to not be paid out. It's not all insurance policies are not designed so there is exclusively one sole beneficiary. There's contingency plans based on life happening, because insurance is to protect, that which is a necessity or a value in life. I don't know. Anyway. Yes. Heather. Only 2 people know fully what happened, CW and NK. They are self-centered soulless slime. I more or less agree with that. Good will be their final judge for all they have done. Absolutely. Very well said. Sarah says, imagine the settlement of an empty toilet in a nearby uncapped well causing a gas leak that took a poor man's family while he was toiling at work. Poor dad becomes a rich man and a single dad. Sarah, you can always go spin off with that stuff, and I don't know why. Okay. Yes, there you go. So, let's see. Talisa says, yes, I have a life insurance policy, and so does my husband, and our 2 children are benefit from them. So, and like my current life insurance policy, and I checked on it. Well, actually 2, both of my current life insurance policies. No, I'm sorry. This is not true. It's what I say. One, I have a life insurance policy that just covers my life. And if I were to die, my son would get X amount that I chose to pay a monthly fee for that policy to be worth. And my policy through my work is different. It has a policy for me. It has a figure on my life. So if I were to die, my son would get X amount, the designation of that policy. Through my work, everyone who has a benefit package, if they have children, if they have a spouse, I think for this one, even if they have a domestic partner, the life insurance benefit part of the package in my current employer also puts a value on every single person in your family. So if any of them, or God forbid, all of them were to pass away, well, if all of them were to pass away and you were not the murderer, like Chris Watts, you would get the payout from each member's insurance claim. If it was just, and yes, I'm talking about children. So if you are someone who has 3 children and God forbid, one of your, and all 3 of the children are covered, they have their own policy under your workplace's life insurance policy benefit, and one of those children die, you're going to get a payout from that claim. It's a very, very common thing that happens now because life ain't easy. Life ain't cheap. Funerals are expensive. People need, the financial and peace of mind cushion that benefit packages provide right now, because we don't have a lot of that in life, So I interviewed 2 HR directors, a financial advisor, and a real estate attorney when I made the video about the insurance claims, and this is what was said across the board. So there, that's that. Oh boy. Hi, April McLean. How are you? Oh, I can prove it, Karen G. What are we proving? Oh my God. I miss everything. Okay. Sarah, I can't even. I'm too tired. I love your comments, but I can't. I can't follow you down that road right now. It's gonna kill me. Oh my God. Okay. So what are you citing the discovery there, Ara? You know what? I don't want to know. It's midnight, guys. I have to go to work in a few hours. Yay, my new job. So my new day job. I usually have a day job and a few side gigs. Let's see. Made. Okay, guys. So just, everyone, please be respectful. Molson Man says our encyclopedia is here. I know. She also does like a mad awesome impression of Skanky Empanada. Oh, somebody in one of my videos told me it's not empanada, it's empanada, which I do think is correct. So sorry. Someone also told me in one of my videos that, oh my God, people tell me a lot of things in comments on my videos, that, I did a reaction video, or not a reaction video, but just a summary video of A Suburban Nightmare, which was a documentary from a certain angle of, the Watts family in this case. Go watch it. I don't want to summarize it anymore. I'm over it. But Lena Derhally is in Suburban Nightmare, and so I mention her and I say, she's a psychotherapist. She's the psychotherapist who wrote da 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 da. Now, really, she's an MS. She's a licensed. She has a bunch of letters after her name. I know what they are. I've read up on her. I know who she is. I'm aware of it. I know that, what her level of, expertise and knowledge is, because, well, hey man, I made a video that I put on my channel. Like, I don't not care about the things that I represent myself with, or that I put out for you guys to watch. If I put out slop, I would expect that none of you would be here. So anywho, not that I don't make mistakes, because I do, but So anyway, this one person I just saw the other day was like, Lena Derhally is not oh God, I'm just gonna read it to you. Whatever. Let's read it because I'm gonna quote it wrong. And then we're gonna go. Then I gotta go to bed. All right. Let's find that. Let's find that comment. I don't know why I feel compelled to read this to you guys, but I have to put together like a funny live or video or something of some of like the greatest hits. They get really freaking nasty too, like, but not nearly as frequently as with some other creators, which is awful. I remember the first time someone suggested I go kill myself in a comment to a video. I was like, oh, what? I had to really think about, do I want to do this? I mean, I'm like, I don't want to say I'm over it now, because it's not, that's a serious thing to say to somebody, but I know that people do that. And I just don't pay attention anymore, because I've learned with follow-up that a lot of those same people are crazy when you look behind the curtain. Okay, here it is. I said I was going to show this comment. I have to now. Let's see, when was it to come out? Oh, I went too far. See, this is why YouTube. Let's talk for a second, okay? Come over here. We gotta talk. Creators need a way to better organize their content above and beyond, and playlists. And hey, YouTube, don't get me wrong. I'm not criticizing you. I would never, ever do that. I love your playlist. I love that. It's a great option. Can we just have a little more to better organize our content, please? Here it is. Yeah. People are so fun. So much fun. So much fun sometimes when they comment on things. All right. Go down to comments, share with you. Talk to myself. Make sure talk to myself is on that checklist. Oops. Do not even.
The first line of the two.
Oh, I also get a lot of compliments, not compliments, comments. I'm from upstate New York. I live in upstate New York. We're very close to Canada. I say documentary. I asked people, my family, people I work with, people in the grocery store. I wrote it down. I didn't say it. I said, can you please say this word for me? I actually recorded it on my phone. They all, it's kind of funny. They all say documentary. I know it's not the proper pronunciation, but you folks, you're going to have to get over it. folks that have commented about that. All right. I can't believe how many people have commented about that. It's kind of strange. Okay. Share. Come on. Hurry up. Okay, there we go. All right, so we're going right for the comments.
So 2022 documentary Suburban Night.
See, that like annoys the bejesus out of some people. They're like, why do you insist on annoying me? Saying it like that every time. Oh my goodness. Crazy. Oops. Okay. Oh wait, I think I have to reduce the screen to comments. Just get to that one. All right. Thanks, Neat Dog. Oh, thanks, peeps. Let's see, I have some good ones too. One person says here, and some of you will appreciate this. What I find amazing is how did they allow his mistress to just walk away? She was involved, and I can't believe that she got away with it. With all due respect, but did she have something going on with the FBI profiler? I think she's talking about Kovac. They should have allowed someone else to deal with her, and not another man. Smart, yes. That lady knows how to play men. Yes. It's sick, and I'm sure she's feeling good that she got away with her part. I'm wondering when Chris will give it up. It's a great comment. I mean, it's a well put together comment. I wonder about those things. Can the channel uploader give me advice on how to cope with being a lifetime victim of domestic abuse from everyone? Oh my God, that's so sad. Oh. Here it is. Okay, thank goodness. Miss Maverick. Thank you, Miss Maverick. This was awesome. All more people replied. I can't wait to read. Yay. Oh, look, there's a comment from you, Rachel. Okay. So, let me read this special comment. All right. Oops. Oh, come on. Stop it, computer. Why did it just do that? You guys saw it. Other channels have shown evidence in neighbor's camera, and use a YouTuber channel to do something. Open Watts cases show more involved. I say, what? I didn't read that one. That's weird. But that person. Never mind. People with psychiatric issues also comment on videos. Okay, so all right. The woman, Lena Derhally, which you said is a psychologist, is not one. She is though. She is not a doctor. Psychologists are not doctors, by the way. With a license, which you must have in order to be a psychologist, which is a 100% false statement, by the way. She is merely a psychotherapist. Huge difference, which psychotherapist and psychologist, if you're a psychologist who's in a clinical practice, psychotherapists and psychologists are essentially interchangeable. Anyone in the field can be called a psychotherapist, which is also not true. like a simple counselor without a doctorate in psychology. However, the term psychologist is specific to one with a doctorate in psychology with a license to practice psychology. I'll just read you my reply to tell you what the real deal is if you don't know. And you might know, but you might not know, because if you're not in that field and you don't care too much, why would you know? Oh my gosh, the person is still insisting they're right though. Okay. So I said, my comment is correct. You are misinformed. Someone with a master's degree in psychology is still called a psychotherapist, not a psychologist. Oh no, that was it. Oh, that's her saying that. Because I was like, wait a minute, that wasn't me. Oh, this is what the deal is. And I'm done. He said, your comment is not correct. In order to be a psychologist, you do not need to be a doctor. You need a master's degree and you need to fill the requirements for a certain number of hours of clinical practice under supervision. I've done it myself. You are incorrect about that. Here's the real deal, lemon peel. A psychiatrist is a doctoral level title. You need to have a doctorate or be a doctor in order to be a psychiatrist. Any of you guys in chat disagree with this in any way, please do tell me. But I mean, I would then think I was going crazy. So then Lena D is in fact a psychologist who practices clinical therapy. As I stated in the video, I read up on her credentials and I trust that she's not falsifying them. Come on. You don't think that I do thorough research before publishing a video? Yada, yada, yada. I mean, I don't know why I decided I had to read that comment to you, but I mean, this person is still arguing, getting those two terms confused. It gets crazy out here, guys. It's a jungle. It's brutal. It's like cutthroat. It's like fight or flight 24 hours a day. I'm just kidding. Oh, boy. My ADHD life. How are you? I saw Dieter walk out of the... When did you see Dieter walk out of the garage? You just come in here and just like, do something like that? When did you see Dieter walk out of the garage? Nice to see you, sweetie, by the way. Oh no. That bark that Dave heard in the background, we don't talk about that name. It was Dieter. Oh, you mean when he was on the porch? I was just kidding about that too. I have to get caught up on these comments here. CW took the fall for Dieter, perhaps, as Molson Man. You're the best. Crazy Train has arrived. Who's arrived? Who's Crazy Train? Lucky Unicorns will be mine. Lucky Charm Unicorn. So funny. Oh my God. What's going on here? Okay. Nancy. Did you watch the Nancy Brophy trial? Little bits, but not as much as I wanted to. What? You guys are having like great conversation. Whatever I was just talking about was really boring. I'm sorry. Dieter. Yeah, I agree with you, DC Bugsby, who says, I saw a lot of flirting from NK and Coder liked it. Oh, by the way, I meant to say to you, I'm glad that you were able to make it. I know that you were saying you were having a hard time getting to a live stream. So tomorrow night, okay, guys, tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, we're going to continue to look at the Watts evidence and the just the most shocking handlings of the evidence. And like I said, there's a couple things in there that have a little twist that I think you guys are going to be very interested in. I'm going to have open panel tomorrow night. So I'm hoping that like Molson Man and John, if you want to come up, let me know. That would be great. Love talking to you guys. The community likes hearing voices other than mine. And I like hearing voices other than mine too. And you guys are really smart and have great things to say. So share those things because it helps other people think outside of their current self-imposed limits, because we all have those. I'm not insulting anyone, so please don't write me a nasty freaking comment. Oh, wow. Meg says the comment section has gone off track. I'm sort of seeing that, Meg. But you guys are great. I know everyone gets a little silly after a while. So I'm going to go to bed, and I'm going to try to be more responsive to emails. If like sometimes you guys will email me some like good little, piece of information that needs to be followed up on, and if followed up on correctly might have some meaning. I was just getting so much email. I had to figure out a way to kind of dwindle it down, and I think I sort of did. So I have an understanding of what's good email and what's spam and blah, 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 blah. I'm going to try to be better about including your contributions in live streams to see what others think about it. And I think that's just a way to be forward moving and making sense of something that is very difficult to make sense of. So, all right, guys, everyone be safe. I hope to see you tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. All right, everyone have a great night and have a good Friday. Thank you so much, moderators. Thank you guys in chat. Thank you for people who are, just always on there saying things that are supporting the channel, encouraging people to press the like button. I really appreciate that because, that's the whole jammy jam with YouTube, and it really helps the channel. Yeah. Good night, guys. What if we send you nasty comments in a good way? There's comments in every which way. I've learned that I'm going to make good out of all of them. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's another thing too. I said when the channel gets to over 10,000 subscribers, I was going to stop responding to every comment people make on videos, which I literally was doing for a while. I still comment and things and I try to read all of them, but it's becoming a lot in addition to my, other things in life. So if people get mad about this, so I'm just saying this to anyone who's watching, if you're used to me replying to a comment you leave on a video and you notice I'm not, please do not take it personally. And, I'm sorry if it's disappointing. Live stream chat is easier way to kind of, for me to chat with people. So it'll all work out. It's all good. I just don't want anyone to be sad. All right, guys, take care. Have a great night. Bye-bye.